Hello and welcome to Introduction to Writing for Early Career Professionals, brought to you by the North Star Initiative, NSI, in partnership with my humble self, Toluwalashe Adeyemi Arilomo. Now we have our table of content before us. We are going to introduce this course, telling you what you would learn in this course. We are also going to use a case study, that is the previous story, to drive home this point. We are going to delve into the meat of this course, that is the writing process itself, using the MACJ approach. You are going to learn more about this as we go along. Finally, we are going to recap, telling you what we've taught you, and then we are going to practicalize this. That is, we are going to actually write an article together, and we are also going to give you a task which you will be submitting to us for our review. Now, why should you take this course? One, because everyone who reads your writing will form an opinion about you, and you want that opinion to be a good one. Two, because you think writing is just random and that there is no process to it or professionalism. This course teaches you the how of writing. Three, good writing requires practice and reading good write-ups. I'll be recommending the Wall Street Journal, Harvard Business Review, and similar articles. Four, I'm going to also ask you to consider these two sentences and you tell me which of them has your attention. First one, it is to be noted that a considerable amount of savings has been made possible by reason of our planful initiation of more efficient and effective purchasing procedures. So that's our first sentence. Second sentence, we've saved considerable sums by streamlining our purchases. So the goal of using these two sentences is to actually draw up a conclusion on whether you can be clear or unnecessarily complex. So it's a question of clarity and simplicity versus complexity and ambiguity. If I were to ask you, I'm sure you would tell me that the second sentence is way clearer than the first one, although they are both communicating the same thing, but the first one uses some really complex words that they have meaning quite all right, but they need you to actually look clearer to actually elicit their meaning. Now, let's go to the case of the poem, which the goal is also to show you how the use of right words matter. Using right words can be the difference between achieving your goals or not achieving your goals. So this is a poem by the American poet David Kirby, and we have the previous story as the source. So let's go. Privet saw a beggar who had a sign that said, "Blind man without a pension." Privet asked him how it was going. The beggar replied, "Oh, very badly. People pass by and drop nothing in my hat, the swine." Privet took the sign from him and altered it. A few days later, he went up to the beggar and again asked him how things were going. The beggar said, "Fantastic! My heart fills up 3 times a day." Privet had written the following on the beggar's sign: "Spring is coming, but I won't see it." So you see, same beggar, same spot, but different results. And what makes the results different is actually the change of words. Instead of saying "blind man without a pension," what we had written on the sign was "spring is coming, but I won't see it." So you see, using these words was actually geared towards drawing a certain emotional reaction from the passersby, and this is supposed to compel them to action, which it eventually did. So whenever we write, we need to have our goals clearly at the back of our minds, and we need to ensure that we are using the right words that ensures that these goals are actually achieved. Now, let's move into the writing process. Number one, you need to define your objectives clearly. Like I said when I talked about the previous story, once you have your objective in mind and you understand your audience, it is easier for you to commence your writing and achieve the goal. So you need to ask, does every sentence advance your defined objective, or does it derail? You need to understand your audience. I'm going to keep prioritizing this. Understand your audience and get to the point quickly and clearly. This is really important in today's world where we have a lot of information competing for the attention of the reader. So you want to get to the point quickly and clearly without dilly-dallying. Number two, you need to decide the tone. Use a tone that makes you likable, whatever the tone is. There's no need to be hostile or there's no need to burn bridges. That's why people would tell you never write or send an email when you're upset. Relax, decide to go over the matter again, and when you are less irate about the situation, you can then write the email communicating without being hostile. Number three, you need to show your audience the relevance of your message to them, just like I did at the beginning of this course. This helps them draw into the course. It helps them also decide whether or not they should spend their time paying attention to your writing. Number four, you need to use language that indicates an intelligent but non-specialist audience to improve persuasiveness. If you recall the example of the two sentences that I used, the first sentence was quite all right, had meaning, but it used a lot of complex words, and these complex words were unnecessary. But the second one, it was clear, and the words were straight to the point. Every word communicated a meaning. So again, you need to use language that indicates that your audience is intelligent, but not necessarily a specialist audience that they have to start consulting the dictionary or Google to actually understand what you are saying. Now, let's move into hacks for excellent writing. Number one, beginning is often the most difficult, so just take it here. There is no hack, just start. Take your mind off the finished product. This is a really important hack for writing because more often than not, people are scared of the project ahead of them. So if you don't start, there's nothing to look forward to. So you need to take your mind off the finished product and start the writing. Number two, break it into smaller tasks, as suggested by Betty Sue Flowers in her work, Madman, Architect, Carpenter, Judge, Roles and the Writing Process. Of course, I'm going to delve further into this. So you have the madman, you have the architect, carpenter, and judge. This is going to actually form the crucial part of this course, and it will help you to understand the meat of this course. These four perspectives are belonging to different characters in your brain, and they basically represent the phases that a writer must pass through to finalize an article. The madman gathers material and generates ideas. The architect organizes information by drawing up an outline, however simple. The carpenter puts your thoughts into words, laying out sentences and paragraphs by following the architect's plan. The judge is your quality control character, polishing the expressions throughout, everything from tightening language to correcting grammar and punctuation. Following this order would help you with your efficiency as opposed to just using a random approach to writing your article. Now, let's delve right into it. The M. Here, you are expected to gather your material, whether from memory, from research, observation, conversations with colleagues and others, from reasoning, speculation, imagination. Wherever possible, gather your ideas and facts upfront. This would help you push through and diffuse anxiety about the writing. It will give you content ahead of your writing. Number two, gather them in a spreadsheet using labels to indicate the points you are trying to support. So whether you're using a spreadsheet or a plain Word document, gather these materials from research, observations, etc. Gather them on this spreadsheet and use labels to indicate that, oh, this is for the introductory part, this is for the main body, and these are the points that you want them to support. You also need to include data, facts, and opinions you are recording under each point. Put direct quotes within quotation marks. You need to cite your sources, very, very important to avoid plagiarism. You need to include the title and page number if citing a book or an article, the URL if citing an online source. When writing a formal document such as a report, you need to consider formal referencing styles such as the Chicago Manual of Style for information on proper sourcing. Right. During your note taking, you need to distinguish facts from opinions. Give credit where it is due to prevent plagiarism or not sounding authentic. These tips will help you save loads of time when you are drafting and will help you create a well-supported and persuasive document. Now let's move to the A, our architect. The goal here is simply to organize your document. By the time you are done with the M, researching and scouting for ideas, you should have a sensible approach in mind. That is, you should already know how you want to begin your article, what you want the body of your article to look like, and how exactly you want to conclude your article. If not, you may need to consider undertaking more hunting and gathering. You want to arrive at the point where you have at least 3 sentences, that is, complete propositions that convey your ideas. Arrange them in the most logical order from the reader's point of view. Now, our carpenter. Now that you've addressed the M and the A, you need to write your first draft. At this point, don't overthink it. Write as fast as you can. Write, write, write. Your corrections and your editing can come later. The goal here is to put pen to paper or type in your Word document. Just write your article. You already have your material gathered from the M and you already have a structure as you've highlighted using the A. So now just write. Don't slow yourself down at this point, trying to aim for perfection. Doing this will only invite writer's block. You do not need the judge at this stage. Now we are at the judge level. Here, you need to put on your critical thinking cap. So you're going to be critiquing your article. Here you weigh your words, fill gaps, amplify here, curtail there, put in the necessary fillers as required. Make several sweeps, checking for one thing at a time. Accuracy of your citations, quality of your transitions, etc. Trying to do many things at once is ineffective, as you would not be doing any of them excellently. So pick one thing at a time and then go through it, come back and go through it again. So make several sweeps. Now, you need to leave plenty of time for multiple rounds of editing, at least as much time as you spent researching and writing. This is a crucial point as a lot of people spend over 95% of their time writing the articles and they quickly use the 5% remaining time to just do some shoddy editing and they send out. You'll be able to unearth more problems and fix better and find better fixes for your articles at this point. You need to aim for a good balance of simplicity and sophistry. Prune off all unnecessary and complex unnecessary words. So for our recap, I just want you to approach a writing project as a series of manageable tasks using the MACJ approach. Use the madman to gather research and other material for the project, diligently keeping track of quotation and sources. As the architect, organize the madman's raw material. In the carpenter phase, write as quickly as possible. And finally, assume the role of a